Hi, I'm Carmen DiGiovine, and welcome to HRS 5450, Assistive Technology for Sports and Recreation. I thought I'd change it up a little bit and come to you from the Assistive Technology Center this week, as opposed to coming from my basement, which gets a little old, probably for you, but it definitely does for me. So this week we will be focusing on Module 2, Adaptive Sports and Recreation. Going back to Module 1, an overview for assistive technology for sports and recreation. We covered a broad smattering, if you will, of AT for sports and recreation. We focused on two examples. There's a lot we could cover, but for the first module, I just thought I'd throw out two examples. One is e-gaming, which you can kind of see the screen off to probably your left. That's the screen that we use for some of our e-gaming. We do have an Xbox up here in the AT Center. Or behind me is our 3D printer, which we just recently received. And so we're excited to use it. So I just had a visitor come in, Liz Gowan, who's another rehab engineer that works here at the Assistive Technology Center. So I just took a quick break, and now we'll come back to Module 1. So got two examples. We got e-gaming, we've got 3D printing. So think about the technology, as I mentioned last module, think about the technology that you use in sports and recreation every day, and how you can adapt some of that technology, or how you can create new technology that would support individuals with disabilities. In Module 1, I also introduced Teresa Berner to you. Teresa Berner is a occupational therapist with her ATP certification. She works at the Assistive Technology Center, but more importantly, she helps direct the Adaptive Sports Institute here at OSU MC. She's also teaching HRS 5100, so some of you may know her from HRS 5100, Intro to Assistive Technology. I'm very appreciative of that because she brings a lot of experience from her clinical world and her research world into the assistive technology world, or into these courses. The other thing I want to talk about for Module 1 are the reading insights. I hope you like the discussion posts and the format. My goal is to get you to the point that you can actually take the information from these articles and apply it in your volunteer positions, in your professional positions, or in your academic positions, and that may be other courses. It's not just to memorize a bunch of definitions. So that's why I use these discussion posts as opposed to quiz. I'll probably tweak them throughout the semester based on your feedback, but this is the idea, is that I want you to read the articles, write down what you think the key points are, keep that in mind as you go to these discussion posts. And then that's for the undergrad students, and the grad students are going to come in and moderate them and provide some of their own experiences to the discussion. I just want to talk about the four articles from Module 1 briefly, the things that stood out to me. First off, of course, Figure 1 in the Rimmer article from 2016, the framework for identifying and eliminating barriers to participation in healthful exercise and recreation in 4 critical domains. And of course, those domains are access, usability, adherence, and health and function. I was really impressed with how those align with the HAT model and the AT service delivery model. So keep that in mind as we move forward, because we'll reference the Rimmer article throughout the course. The Santana article was just a fantastic article on e-gaming and the introduction of making e-gaming more accessible. So the next time you play an e-game, the next time you play a video game, check out the accessibility features that are built into that e-game, or into that game, or maybe the accessibility features that aren't built into the game. And then the last article in this grouping was an article from Simpson and Taliaferro. I hope I said that right. It was a great article on the use of 3D printing. Though 3D printing covers a lot of areas in assistive technology, it was interesting to see how they specifically use it in physical education. Oftentimes, emerging technologies will come out of the sports and recreation area and then transition into the mainstream consumer products. And so 3D printing is one of those ways we can prototype new ideas to see what the next emerging technology might be. And then of course there's the article on the rehabilitation engineering professions. There's twofold reason for giving that to you. One is I just wanted you to better understand the different professions that are out there that focus on rehabilitation engineering and assistive technology. And the second one is I hope it'll help you better understand and better appreciate the interviews that I do with professionals in the field of assistive technology. In Module 1, we focused on Teresa Berner. In Module 2, we'll focus on Kevin Starr. So that leads us to Module 2, Adaptive Sports and Recreation. So we're gonna continue and stay at a high level. We're not gonna go in deep yet. We're gonna stay broad at this point. The main learning material is an article by Wilson and Clayton with the title Sports and Disability. And it provides a broad overview of sports. In terms of the context, it does a great job of providing context, a little bit of history, and starting to talk about technology. The assignment is another careers in ASR technology, and this time it's Kevin Starr, who is an occupational therapist that works in outpatient rehab. He is heavily involved in sports and recreation in a number of different areas, which he'll talk about. He's a volunteer, he's a coach, and he's an ally of people who are involved in sports and recreation. There's no reading insights discussion for this module, but in Module 3, I will add a reading insights that will include the article from Module 2. So next week with Module 3, it'll include the article, the reading insights discussion will include the articles from both Module 2 and Module 3. So just keep that in mind. In terms of cool AT for sports and recreation, I try to include that in there. The journal, the Assistive Technology Journal that is hosted by RESNA just put out a special issue in December that's entitled Companion Papers to the Global Report on Assistive Technology. The special report, or the special issue, was funded by the World Health Organization and UNICEF. It has a number of great articles. I just had time to look at the titles and the abstracts because it just came out. It looks like great information. So if you have a chance to read some of those articles or any one of those articles, please post your feedback on our discussion board so we can all learn from it. And then I oftentimes look at what other people are reading and then I'll pick up. And then I'll read that article. I like to get feedback get reviews from other people first. And then in closing, I've started to add a link at the bottom of the videos on the overview page that include my notes, these notes right here. I include my notes from my intro videos. I'm doing that for a couple reasons. Sometimes it's hard to hear me with this mask on. Sometimes I just mumble and stumble over my words, as you've noticed. But also I like to include information in multiple formats. And that way I have the information in both video format, and then I can also give you my notes so you can follow along as you're going through the video if you want to do that. Of course, as always, reach out to me if you have any questions about the course or the RTC program. Have a great week. Remember to keep an eye out for sports and recreation technologies that are out in the consumer market, and grab the link and share it with us through the discussion board, or take a picture and share your picture with us through the discussion board. Have a great week, and I hope you enjoy Module 2.